full swing. I'm Brian Anderson, and with me tonight, Grant Hill and Tim Legler. And down on the sidelines is Allie LaForce. Here's what Seattle has lined up on their schedule. On Wednesday, they'll face off against Pascal Siakam and the Indiana Pacers. And then on Saturday, they'll be matching up against Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers.
And for that game against the Magic, that's a game where you'd be surprised to see them lose. They'd have to have a really off night for them to get upset there.
And now the opening lineup for Seattle. We've got Cam Thomas, Zach LaVine out there with Drew Holiday. Then there's Jonathan Kuminga, and it's Makovich in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for the Grizzlies, they've got Ja Morant, Santi Aldama out there with Zach Edey. Then there's Bojan Bogdanovic, and it's Coward in at the shooting guard position. Grant, these are two teams with some of the highest assist rates in the league.
Yeah, B.A., and it really goes to show the unselfish attitude they both have. Not to mention how many skilled passers are on both rosters.
Now here's Aldama, and he gets it to go.
Because of his ability to elevate and make adjustments in air, Morant has no trouble scoring inside.
LaVine surveys the D. Matkovich. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. Seattle shooting their first free throw of the night here.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And so it's Memphis with it. Here's Edey. Good setup. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
That is a quality look. You can't do it much better than that.
Now here's LaVine. In his last outing, 10 points for him. And here's Kuminga for three. The rebound by Edey. He got it. No doubt that's a foul. And it's going to be a transition take foul. And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
In their previous game, he simply couldn't miss from the line.
The free throw drops for Morant.
The boundless athleticism Morant has is really special. He's someone that is always in attack mode.
Here's Bogdanovic. We saw him with 11 points in his last game. Pass to Edey. Here's Morant. Count the basket. Morant's got 5.
Starting to find his rhythm. He's cooking, and he knows it.
And now they are just going to keep riding that momentum with the hot hand.
Now here's Holiday, giving them some good production, putting up just around 16.5 points a game. And he comes up with a bucket.
And that is the kind of tough bucket they love seeing from Kuminga, just using that athleticism.
And last season, the most efficient shooting season of Zach LaVine's career.
Yeah, B.A., 2.5% better in his free throw shooting. He would have had a 50-40-90 season on his hands, but his scoring is top tier. And I love their energy so far. They're now 4 for 4 from the field.
Just an electrifying style on the court for Ja Morant. And Grant, he's not shy when it comes to confrontation.
Oh, yeah. No, he's not ducking any smoke. But part of his maturation is choosing his battles, including trying to preserve his body from those fearless forays to the rim.
The free throw drops for Morant.
And Morant remains one of the most explosive guards in the league. A fearless competitor who doesn't back down from anyone and has unlimited confidence.
Now here's Holiday. Kuminga with a screen on Morant. And the officials will call the illegal screen here.
The screener was leaning a bit right there. His feet may not have been planted. Pretty obvious call by the officials.
Also, the ball handler needs to wait until the screener's feet are set.
Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Boy, the offense has been on point.
They have great timing and great communication. So hard to get stops against them.
Perfect night so far, 2 for 2.
Getting out to a nice lead. Great flow and great execution.
For Seattle, they've gone just 2 for 4 from the floor. Holiday passes to Thomas. Grizzlies with the rebound. And this matchup with Seattle, it's their first meeting of the season.
They'll be looking to impose their will against this team, something they couldn't achieve last season.
Well, that could take him off the floor. Not what he wanted right there. 2 fouls in the first quarter.
Mitchell's checked in for Drew Holiday. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played so far. Drops in the 3.
And what's working here, each guy is willing to make the next pass.
And it's Mitchell with the ball for Seattle. They trail by 11. There's a screen by Kuminga. Mitchell, the pass to Kuminga. No good. Had a chance to win the run there.
Defense did just enough to force that miss. I really expected him to get 2 there.
Inside, Levine. And it's Coward with a rebound. Memphis leading by 11. Pass to Morant. Outside Bogdanovich. Here's Edey. And there's Memphis with another bucket.
You can't help but look toward their defense. They're totally lost.
And Seattle calls time here. Taking a look back at last season, the team leaders in rebounding. Second, Memphis.
And when you look at the numbers from a year ago, they were dominant on the glass. It's a big part of their identity.
Seattle trails by 13. Pass to Thomas. First quarter of play, and just over 3.5 minutes in. Can they get it? No good. Excellent D there from Aldama. All right, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
They've done a great job facilitating shooters. Their early game has seen a lot of hot passes and has kept the defense guessing as well.
And another thing they've done consistently well is attack the paint. They have stayed aggressive under the hoop and gotten high percentage looks.
And Morant no good on that one. There's always going to be player movement in the offseason. I have to imagine some of those guys are still meshing with their new team grade.
Well, it depends on the player, B.A. With young guys, it can take more time to adapt. But for the veterans, they know what their game is about by this point.
4-3. Here's Edey. And at last, they get one to fall. Edey's got 8.
He's been perfect this quarter. They keep feeding him, and he keeps delivering.
Mitchell, the pass to Thomas. Picked it. Pass to Edey. And it's Markovic with a rebound. Seattle trails by 15. Here's Levine. And he banks in the layup.
You have to love how persistent Levine is inside, enduring the contact and finding his shot.
Mitchell against Morant to the left wing. Up again. Oh, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
They've shown so much energy right from the start, particularly on the offensive end.
So far, a great game plan and great execution, but we still have a long way to go.
Now here's Mitchell. No made baskets yet, and they'll keep possession. Pass to Markovic. Shot clock at 3. Memphis with a rebound. They want to keep rolling here following a win against Minnesota.
what about their offense? It was a well-oiled machine, getting them high-quality looks time and time again.
You have to take advantage of opportunities. That's exactly what they did, and really, that's all you can ask for.
Thomas. Oh, a clear foul there on the missed shot. So he'll get a pair at the line. We'll grant for a late first-round pick. Cam Thomas is a certified bucket.
Yeah, B.A., he's got every shot in the book. And he's still rounding out the other aspects of his game. But if you need to score, that he can provide.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good. Thomas.
When you watch Cam Thomas go on one of his patented scoring outbursts, it's reminiscent of the microwave. He heats up quickly and can carry the offense in stretches.
That misses, so he splits the free throws. Well, you ask the older generation about load management. They'll bend your ear about back in the day, Grant.
Oh, yes, we will. But it's true that today's players average more distance covered per game, even if they're not walking uphill both ways. So you got to take that into account.
Williams is checked in for Seattle. Both good from the line that time. Seattle trails by 16. And here's Mitchell. 9 points in his last outing. Thomas with the ball. Edey with a steal. And now Memphis on the break. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
Man, the defender really went after him.
Memphis shooting their 6th and 7th free throw shots in the game. And he drops the first. Jackson, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. Thompson, he's checked in for Seattle. And he makes both free throws. Seattle shooting has not been great early, just 27%. There's a screen. Shoots from the right block. Pass to Mitchell. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Levine for 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Aldama's got 4 rebounds now.
So far this quarter, he's been out of sync and might be pressing right now.
Here's Matkovich. Clark! Jackson outside. Sinks the tray.
And we know it's still early, but they're getting destroyed on the boards.
And it's Seattle with the ball. They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Thanks a lot, guys. In an era of title or bust thinking, it's noteworthy that the grit and grind Grizzlies of the 2010s are properly celebrated. While they never made it past the Western Conference Finals, their physical style, built around Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, Tony Allen, and Mike Conley, built a lasting legacy in Memphis. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you, Allie. Now here's Mitchell. As far as his production, he's averaging about 8 points per game. And it's going to be out of bounds. Seattle will have another go. Prosper's checked in for Memphis. Jerome comes in for Aldama. Seattle also changing it up. Nesmith comes in for Zach LaVine. And it's Dunn in for Mitchell. And here's Thompson for 3. Buries it from 3.
Few shooters in this league have ever been as good off the catch than Klay Thompson.
Now here's Morant, coming off a terrific game against Minnesota. Here's Jackson, off target at the rim. Seattle trails by 16. Here's Nesmith. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
Heady play to stop that easy layup right there. I mean, make him earn it at the line.
Seattle shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. Clark is checked in for Memphis. Spencer comes in for Ja Morant. Hits both from the stripe. Here's Spencer, averaging around 6 a game. Pass to Jerome. Jackson for 3. They get it back. And here's Clark. Some nice ball movement by Memphis. Prosper misses.
They're playing with a lot of energy tonight. We can see that in their dominance on the glass.
Here's Dunn. Fires in the triple.
You don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
And Jerome has got the ball here for the Grizzlies. They lead by 11. Pass to Spencer. Launches it. The putback. The rebound by Klay Thompson. Seattle on offense. They've scored 10 straight. Over to the wing. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. That's on Brandon Clark.
And we have seen that countless times from Klay Thompson, baiting the defender and then getting whatever he wants.
Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw is good from Thompson. One of the all-time great shooters, Tim. Klay Thompson has put on some legendary shooting displays.
Well, B.A., he has a picture-perfect shooting stroke, and when he gets it going, it's almost like he can't miss no matter what the defense does to stop him.
Both free throws good from Thompson.
And I think it's so impressive how Klay Thompson has matured into his game. He still does an awful lot out there on the floor, but can still volume score on any night.
Now here's Jerome. No points yet. Doubled by Dunn. Here's the 3. Clock at 6. Here's Jerome. Here's Clark. Oh, Clark with the slam.
Not the tallest center in the league. He more than makes up for it with those crazy hops.
Dunn, the pass to Nesmith. Back to Dunn. Pass to Thompson. Here's Makovich. Clark covers. Here's Spencer. Jackson on the wing. Nesmith covering. Jerome outside. To the wing on the left. This one for 3. That shot missing. Nice D from Thompson. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play. A minute 58 left to play in the first quarter. To the wing, right side. Pass to Jackson. Jerome outside. And the 3 off target. Seattle on offense. Some momentum. A 15-2 run underway. Out of bounds. It'll be Memphis' ball. And right here, the 2K leaderboard shows us which teams made the most of their second chance opportunities last year. In the 3rd spot, the Grizzlies.
Second chance points were crucial to their offensive production, so they worked to maximize that strength.
Memphis leading by 8. Pass to Jackson. 3-pointer. He hits that one. 2 for 5 now.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, and that's the effectiveness of the 2-man game right there.
Now here's Dunn. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
whistle there.
First trip to the line for him here.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. That one's no good. Here's Matkovic. Oh, just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances. Came up empty.
I love how they've attacked the boards here in the first quarter.
At the line for Memphis, shooting one.
And they're just hacking away out there. I mean, it's costing them, too, at the free throw line.
Memphis leading by 11. Pass to Jerome. Some nice ball movement by Memphis. Spencer, no good. Seattle on offense. They're on a 16-6 run. Thompson passes to Dunn. Outside Neesmith. Spencer grabs the miss. And the Grizzlies shooting with confidence in this one. 48% in the first quarter. Jerome against Williams. Pass to Spencer. And again it's Memphis missing. Seattle trails by 11. Here's Neesmith. That one goes. Now he's 1 for 2.
Good execution. They're getting some short-range looks here.
Here's Jerome. Connects. The jumper drops.
And just executing at a high level. I mean, taking what the defense allows and putting in the work.
Well, they are making something very difficult look simple right now.
And the call is going to be, yes, an illegal screen.
You can get away with one once in a while, but it looked like he wasn't completely set on that pick.
Well, oftentimes illegal screens fall into a gray area, but that time he got called for it.
So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Grizzlies out in front, up 11. And we'll bring you the start of quarter number 2 when we return. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. Hey guys, the Grizzlies pretty much in control here.
Yeah, showing grit on the glass is a good way to gain an advantage. They controlled the boards in the first.
They clearly wanted to be the more physical team, and they are setting the tone that way. I love the work.
Seattle trails by 11. And Seattle, looking at who they've got. They've got Kuminga. Drew Holiday out there with Zach LaVine. Then there's Robert Williams. And it's Neesmith in at the 3. LaVine, good.
He had to get it away, and he did. LaVine with the quick release.
The Grizzlies shooting at a 48% clip from the floor. Right side Moran. And he's off from 17.
That's just unlucky. You don't mind him taking that shot at all.
Left side Kuminga. Pass to Holiday. Shot clock at 6. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
And so it's Moran who brings up the ball for the Grizzlies. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Jackson for 3. Williams grabs the board. Williams has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Now Holiday. Last game for him, he picked up 13. On the wing, LaVine. Williams. Oh, Time Lord with the follow.
And they keep on figuring out ways to force the rock inside and convert.
Second quarter here, just over a minute and a half played. Pass to Morant, to the inside. Aldama, boom, he jams it straight down.
And you can't leave the basket unprotected. Bad things will happen to you.
Yeah, that was just way too easy.
And now this offense feels like they can just do whatever they want.
And here's Kuminga for three. Kept alive. Here's Nesmith. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Nesmith's gotten his second bucket on the night.
Love that look there, locating his teammate and creating an easy basket.
Morant, the pass to Jackson. Off target from outside.
Yeah, they're winning despite his offensive performance. He just hasn't been sharp from the field.
Pass to Levine. Puts one up from 19. And all around the rim that time before dropping. Levine's got 5 points in the quarter.
And they're in a better flow this quarter offensively. And their shooting percentage is steadily rising as a result.
Morant looking around. Here's Coward. Clark outside. Pass to Morant. 6 to shoot. Jackson for three. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Williams. And the Grizzlies making a change here. Bogdanovich is checked in. Seattle also changing it up. Matkovic, he's checked in for Williams. And it's Thomas in for Nesmith. Quarter number 2 and around 3 minutes gone by. Count it.
Nice sequence off the inbound. Ball movement and player movement creating the good look.
Pass to Matkovic. Parked it down low that time. Got hit with the 3-second call. Edey's checked in for Memphis. Mitchell's checked in for Seattle. Memphis leading by 4. Pass to Morant. Oh, there's the alley. And out of bounds. Seattle will have it.
I'm not sure what happened there. You just can't give away possessions in this league.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed here in the second quarter. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
And that's the risk you run when you leave them in with 2 fouls.
Here's Coward. He's covered by Levine. Bogdanovich from long range. And rebounded by Zach Levine.
Well, the defense should consider themselves lucky there because he's not usually one to miss those kinds of looks.
There's a screen by Kuminga. Here's Levine for 3. Second chance effort. The 3. And Thomas gets it to go on the assist by Kuminga.
Boy, at the offensive end, Thomas is aggressive and confident.
Well, Tim, one of the more freakish athletes in the league is Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, Brian, he is electric in transition. His skill level and IQ are still developing, but it's really hard to put a ceiling on his potential.
From behind the arc, the rebound by Edey. Edey's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Pass to Bogdanovich. And again, Memphis no good.
Well, I love the confidence. Keep shooting it. Eventually, he's got to start making some, right?
That puts him in the lead. Mitchell's got 5 now.
And we're playing about as much defense as they did there. Not nearly enough.
Memphis trailing here. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
ABA, John Morant looking to lead the way. He said, I set the tone. My teammates feed off of it, and I love to compete. That's how we all grew up, playing on the blacktop outside, competing at a high level when there was no cameras around. Guys, back to you.
He's got that alpha mentality. Allie, thanks for the report.
Well, as a defender, it's hard to overcome a height disadvantage when you're that close to the basket.
Mitchell against Morant. Pass to Matkovic. And Edey with a block. Here's Coward. An 11-point game for him in the win against Minnesota. Good, and the setup by Moran. Battle calls time here. And as the coaches draw up their strategies, the players staying hydrated with some Gatorade. That's key to keeping them at their best all the way up to the buzzer.
It really is. And every one of those players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
A chance to check out stats for Ja Morant.
And he's been outstanding offensively as of late. These last 5 games, he's been a beast at the offensive end. A different level scorer than he had been earlier in the season. Let's see if he can keep it up.
And here's Mitchell. He'll bring it up for Seattle. Trailing by 2. Thomas outside. Pass to Levine. From outside the arc. And Levine knocks down the 3.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been 3s.
Mitchell against Moran. Here's Aldama. Here's Coward. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Moran. Morant from close range.
And a big reason they have this lead is the way he's shooting the ball.
And here's Mitchell. He's got 5. Here's Levine for 3. The rebound by Bogdanovich. Aldama with it. Kuminga's on him. Bogdanovich from long range. They get it again. Edey, that's good. And now a 3-point Grizzly lead.
Sometimes with that much of a height advantage, resistance is futile.
Outside Mitchell. Pass to Thomas. From the elbow. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Thomas has got 6.
Well, for Cam Thomas, the mid-range is almost an extension of the layup.
And so Tuomas Isalo calls the timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy. Thompson, he's checked in for Zach LaVine. All right, we've now got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. He's got a special report. Shams, it's all yours.
Well, a debate is brewing. While the NBA has pushed back against load management, saying it's an 82-game league, prominent voices on the team side countering that with much more movement on every possession, modern play style places novel demands on players' bodies.
A serious challenge. Okay, Shams, thanks for that report. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Edey. And now let's glance at the league's most aggressive defensive teams from last year.
And their gritty mentality when it came to defense was really infectious. They were the best last year at holding opposing teams to low-scoring totals.
Seattle has gone 6 of 14 from the perimeter tonight. Pass to Matkovic. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance at a three-point play.
That's been the story of their offense so far, getting a number of looks from point-blank range.
And a moment to check out the scoring breakdown for Seattle.
Well, in today's NBA, the three-point shot is so valuable. They realize this, and that's why they're continuing to drain as many as they can.
And I love how they've gotten to the free throw line. They've made it a point to be aggressive, and I expect that to continue.
Here's Spencer. 9 points in his last outing. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jonathan Kuminga. That's his third foul of the game.
First team.
Here's Edey. 14 points for him. Jerome on the wing. He shoots it.
I can't believe it. I mean, he can't buy a basket in the second period. He might want to keep the ball moving. Oh, phenomenal hustle. He has a knack for those boards.
Man, he is tenacious when that ball goes up. Now here's Mitchell. 5 points in the game. Here's Thompson. And it's blocked by Edey.
Second team.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. He's perfect from the line this time.
0 wasted trips. They're doing their job at the line.
Memphis trailing here. There's Bogdanovich with the 3. Kuminga pulls it in.
And he just hasn't been able to get it going this period.
And with each miss, you can feel him pressing just a little bit more.
Now here's Mitchell. Pass to Thomas. Shot clock at 6. It goes. He's made 3 shots in 6 attempts.
Well, he's raising the stakes here in the second quarter and being more efficient in the process.
Over to the left wing. Back to Jerome. Jacks up a 3. The putback. It's good on the putback.
They're really fighting a losing battle on the glass.
Seattle has gotten only 4 of 9 from beyond the arc here in the second. Thomas outside. Pass to Kuminga. Shoots a fadeaway. The Grizzlies pull it in.
He typically dominates that area of the floor. It just didn't drop.
Bogdanovich. Here's Prosper. And that one's good with extra effort on the glass. Prosper's got his first 2 points.
And a big part of their offensive success right now is the ability to create second chance opportunities.
Thompson passes to Kuminga. On target from range. Kuminga's got 5 points.
And that has been his biggest challenge since entering the league. Kuminga continues to work on becoming a more reliable deep shooter.
Jackson, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. Seattle also changing it up. Williams is checked in for Matkovich. Nesmith comes in for Thomas. And it's done in for Mitchell. And here are the Grizzlies now. It's a 3-point game.
And it just feels like his poor shooting has been contagious to his entire team as they find themselves trailing.
Dunn, the pass to Thompson. From deep. Out of bounds. It'll be Memphis' ball. Out of bounds. Memphis making a switch here. Clark's checked in. Grizzlies trail by 3. Here's Spencer. Pass to Prosper. Now here's Clark. Here's Spencer. Back to Clark. Here's Spencer.
And right now, they're losing the turnover battle. I love great defense. Just quick to establish his feet, and he takes the hit.
Seattle making a switch here. Holiday is checked in. And there's 1:38 left to play in the first half. Kuminga, the pass to Neesmith. Ooh, plenty of contact on that shot. Officials call the foul, and he'll take 2 free throws now. That's on Brandon Clark.
Man, he made sure to get his money's worth on that foul.
The first free throw is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. .125 left in the first half of this one. Grizzlies trail by 5. Out left to the wing. Jerome feeling it out a bit. He shoots. Looking to get back on track. And the dunk by Jackson.
Impressive one-hand slam right there, B.A.
Man, as long as he's confident about it, I'm good with it. Maybe use 2 hands next time. He knows where he is. Now here's Holiday. Williams with the screen. For 3. Holiday. That one's good. Holiday's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, we know Holiday can do damage from outside the arc, which is why the defense has to be right up on him.
Now here's Jerome, defended by Dunn. To the paint. And Chris Dunn gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game.
13.
Pass to Spencer. Now Jackson. Out to the wing. Here's Clark.
Yeah, he just didn't account for the wingspan of Kuminga. That is great D right there by the young fella.
And there's the whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
And even from where we're sitting, you could clearly tell it was a foul.
He's off on the first. So he comes up empty at the line. Ooh, tough break there. Shot after shot. They couldn't get anything to fall. Jerome outside. Jackson right side. And he drops it in from the low post. Jackson's got 10 points in the game.
This is why they will go to him often. He's going to take and make shots.
And so a close game as we wrap up the first half of play. Seattle out in front, up 4. And we'll see you back here after the break. Third quarter action in just a bit.
You look at the numbers, they're getting to the line over and over. Love the determination.
We've seen it before. They can wear an opponent out. Doing it again tonight. And now let's take a moment to see how the West stacks up here in this early part of the season.
You look at Seattle. They've started this season on the right foot, something we kind of expected given their offseason. We'll see if this is a pace they can maintain as the year rolls on.
And that'll do it for us. Thanks for stopping by. We'll head back down to Brian Anderson and crew for the start of the third quarter.